So this day was just legs, which is why it's so short. So I don't like really include a lot of movements for my legs. I just include the basics because as long as you go heavy and with good form, like you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You don't need like 20 million leg exercises. You don't need to have like a full on like 3 hour workout for legs. Legs are just like every other muscle. They grow the same. So I started off with seated leg curls, which is the only movement um, for hamstrings that I did this day because this day was a quad focus leg day. But yeah, I went pretty heavy. I went to the heaviest I've ever gone was 170, but that's with me leaning back. But I'm trying to lean forward, reason being because when I lean forward, I actually feel a stretch in my hamstrings, and that's what I'm chasing. So yeah, I just lean forward. I did 150. I've never been able to go that high with while leaning forward because for some reason while leaning forward I'm like so much more like weaker. You know what I mean? But it felt really good. I mean, my hamstrings, I feel them today. It's crazy, and this is the only hamstring exercise I did, only one, and I still got some hamstring stimulus by what I'm feeling today. So, I mean, yeah, just slow, eccentric, same thing as always. I lowered it down to 130 for my second set. Um, but yeah, the thing with leaning back is like it makes it easier, but the stretch is just not there. Like the stretch is what I'm chasing overall, the stretch. So now we go on to leg extensions, and you're probably like, why in tarnation are you doing leg extensions instead of your pressing movement or whatever, like your main compound movement? Um, so like I've always programmed leg extensions like at the end of the workout, so they're like super weak for some reason. Well, not for some reason, I know why, but they're like super weak and they're just a movement I want to bring up. And also I'm doing them differently. I don't know if you noticed, but like my hips are like forward, so I'm targeting more of like the rectus femoris, I think it's called. It's a muscle in there in the quads, but I really want it to grow. I really want that look of a big rectus femoris, so I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But that's what I'm chasing, and that's why I put it first to prioritize that and sort of just to bring up my leg extension because it's just been super weak. I've been neglecting it like a lot. So I think me actually working on it is something that I should do. I mean, I'm only able to do 130, you know? And I chose this leg extension specifically because it's the only one that gives me a stretch. The other ones, like, suck at that. I don't know why. Now we go on to Smith machine squats or narrow squats. Um, I decided to go relatively heavy as well. Um, they were super hard at this point, especially since I did those leg extensions. They were like, I could only do 6 reps. I think I only did 6 reps for both of those sets. I made sure to go really deep, really feel it in my quads. Now, my hips did shoot back a little because with these, like, you want to avoid your hip like shooting back. But my hip did shoot back. But I still got a bunch of quad stimulus. My quads are cooked today. Like, it's whatever. I wasn't really focused too much on form. I just wanted to go heavy. Like, obviously, I didn't want to do like super, shitty form, but I did want to go heavy. I didn't care if like I sacrificed some form for it. Like, I just wanted to do a heavy leg day. Probably on like a more like hamstring focused leg day is when I'll go like a lot lighter and actually focus on form and not shoot the hips back. Because obviously quads will not be like that much of a focus on a hamstring leg day. But yeah, these were pretty fun to do. I thought it was gonna go terribly wrong because last time I did these uh, wasn't really fun. So I don't know, man. Felt really really good. I had to pause for a few seconds because the main thing with like legs is that my breathing is off sometimes, and sometimes like the session is cut short because of my breathing. If that makes sense, like the set is cut short. So I have to like pause sometimes and give myself like a few breaths. But now we go on to leg press. Now, oh my God. When somebody tells me they could do like more than 5 plates on leg press easily, I kind of look at them a weird way because most of the time they're probably not even like doing a full rep. They're probably doing like a quarter rep. Like, as you can see, like, bro, when I go down, the thing is like a literal atom away from the stopper. Like, I'm literally going as deep as possible, and I'm putting my feet lower to get more quad stimulus on it, and to get more depth overall, to really stretch those quads. But yeah, I was only able to do 4 plates because the lower you go, the more like quad focused it is, but it's also way harder that way. Like, way harder. The max I've ever done is 5 plates for 6 reps, but when I put it like that low, like it like even this is like excruciatingly hard. I was only able to do 6 reps here as well, but hey, at least I went super deep, felt a stretch in my quads, and um, it was a very slow controlled eccentric. What is that? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, like a 3 to 4 second eccentric. That's freaking perfect, man. So yeah, that's all I did for legs. It worked because my legs are super sore right now, and it's the day after, and usually they're sore 2 days after. So I mean, yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all on the next one.